He heard the door swing open. Maybe it's Natsuki? I think she wanted to go looking for Sayori with me. No, probably everyone's looking for us now. How long could we have been gone for? It's alright, Natsuki, I found her. I turn around and I'm surprised to see who it is standing at the door. It's not Natsuki. It's not even Yuri. It's Monika? Sayori and I stagger back, surprised at Monika's sudden entrance. I shake off my nerves and speak up. Oh, hey Monika, I didn't know you were going to look for us. I don't like that. I was looking for you, Mark. I don't like that look in your eyes, Monika. She eerily grins at me as she takes a step forward. Monika's words send a chill down my spine. Her creepy grin doesn't help it either. Well, you found me. I found Sayori too, so we can head back to the club room now. I turn to Sayori, who seems just as uncomfortable being alone with Monika as I am. So you're all squared away then? You guys are going to stay as a couple, huh? Yeah? Why? Well, that's too bad. Guess we're going to have to do this the hard way then. Sayori and I stare at each other in confusion. The hard way? What are you talking about? Ooh! Out of nowhere, a thunderstorm rolls up on us. What the hell? Wasn't it sunny just a minute ago? Oh, hey. We're in the club room, but everything's empty. The next thing I know, it's nighttime, and all the stuff in the classroom has vanished. Not only that, but we're standing in different spots. Guys, what's going on? I'm scared. I turn to Monika, who is standing completely still in the middle of the room with her eyes closed. Monika? She doesn't respond. Monika? I say loudly. I reach my hand out to put on Monika's shoulder. Monika, are you alright? I put my hand on Monika's shoulder and she still doesn't respond. Whoa! Whoa! I really fall backward and scurry away from Monika. I look up at Monika to see her eyes glow an emerald green as she stands before us, motionless. Sayori cries out for help as loud as she can. Scream all you want, it won't save you. Monika teleports right next to Sayori and tightly grabs her shoulder. Sayori again yells in pain as she's forced on her knees by Monika. Meanwhile, I find myself at the back of the room, unable to get up or speak. What the hell is going on? What is this? Sayori tries to fight to get Monika off of her, but she too seems to be frozen in place. I've waited so long for this. Without warning, Sayori's body is broken apart into little pieces that repeatedly revolve around themselves mid-air. I honestly can't believe what I'm seeing. This can't be real. This has to be another dream. Sayori disappears into nothing, leaving Monika and I alone in the room together again. Only that the room seems to have changed yet again, and I was sitting in a chair facing Monika, who is still facing me through her glowing eyes. I look out the window to see that it's no longer raining or sunny out, but it looks like space. I look back at Monika, who still maintains a blank stare. I'm getting out of here! I don't know how, but I managed to force myself out of the chair and sprint to the doorway. I'm literally in space, there is no door! However, surely enough, the door slams in my face as soon as I get there. What the hell? I go and turn the knob, but it's jammed shut. This has to be some kind of joke. I try pushing the door open, but it won't budge. What the fuck is going on? I turn around and see Monika slowly walking towards me. I begin pounding on the door, screaming for Natsuki, Yuri, or anyone to help me. The closer Monika gets to me, the more lightheaded I become. I can't see straight. My breathing becomes ragged as I feel splitting pain in my head. I think there's blood in my eyes. Monika towers over me, the emerald light glowing in the place of her eyes. She slowly outstretches her hand to me. Oh, stop! Get away from me! Get away! I slowly lose my consciousness. I feel Monika's cold hand grab my throat. I begin to feel as if everything in my body is rushing to my throat. I would vomit, but my stomach feels entirely empty, and my throat numb to the point where I can't even feel if it's still there. I try to let out a cry for help, but not even a squeak comes out. My lungs are on fire, begging me to take a breath. I can't even feel my arms and legs. My head is spinning at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It feels totally weightless. My vision is filled red with blood. I try to look to see if there's anything I can do to defend myself. But my eyes won't stop looking at Monika's. I can't help but feel my arms and legs. I can't feel my arms and legs. They've gone completely numb. It's no use. I can't do anything. So this is what it feels like to die. I finally lose consciousness, but the last thing I see before everything goes dark is Monika's glowing green eyes. I'll see you soon. Just need to run a quick little errand. As I regain consciousness, I'm greeted by a sharp pain in my forehead. This pain is almost unbearable. I stand up slowly, clutching my forehead and attempt to nurse this stinging pain. What just happened? I groggily open my eyes. Yeah, are we back at the beginning of the game? This is exactly how the game started. Where am I? What is this? I look around in all directions, but as far as I can see, there's nothing but black empty space. Hello? Yeah, hello. This is... I'm fucking back at the beginning. I can't skip it, but you know, I'm technically there. I hear nothing but the sound of my own voice echo in the oblivion. How did this happen? What even happened? Everything was normal just a few minutes ago, up until suddenly I hear something walk towards me. So yeah, that's how, yeah, I'm able to make out a dark silhouette. I think I recognize that outline. Hello? The figure comes into my view. It's Monika? Oh, good, you're awake. I really hope I did it right this time. And I believe I owe you an explanation. I look at Monika, startled and confused. Monika, what is this? Where are we? What did you do? Monika waves her hand over to calm me down. It's okay, we're safe. How is this safe? We're in what I like to call as the Void, Mark. It's my home. It's where I go when I'm not needed. I take it you recognize it. I look around once more, but all I see is black empty space. None of this is possible. I have to be dreaming right now. But this does all seem familiar. I've seen this place in my nightmares. I look back at Monika, who is waiting for me to answer. I simply nod back to her to indicate that this is indeed all familiar to me somehow. Good, I was worried that I messed it up again. Guess I'm really starting to get the hang of resets. Resets? Monika, what the actual fuck are you talking about right now? 1 minute we're at school, the next I know, you just knock me unconscious with your weird glowing eyes? What are you, some sort of god? About all that. First, let's all calm down. I know it's a lot to take in, I'm speaking from experience on this one. But I'm definitely not your normal little schoolgirl, Mark. I am beyond such labels. Actually, it's one of the few things few things we have in common. How could we possibly have anything in common? In a sense, we're both real, Mark. I take a step back from Monika. Has she lost it? Yes, we're both real. Oh, yes, we're both real, Mark. Well, I should say that I'm real. But you're a bit of a tricky case. What are you saying? Well, I've been talking past you this entire time, not at you. I've been talking to the lovely person behind the screen who controls you. Are you saying that I'm controlled? Monika lets out an hysterical laugh. Her laugh echoes throughout the void, being carried off in the distance until it's nothing more than a distant echo before it can't be heard anymore at all. No, please. You're not even a character, Mark. You're an avatar for my beloved. Just a projection of themselves onto a blank and boring canvas. Unfortunately for you, you barely exist at all. But you're as real as I can get right now. You're the closest I can get to the person who controls you behind the screen. Who is this person that supposedly controls me, Monika? I have no idea what you're talking about. Monika lets out a sigh. Mark, the world in which we know is a video game. A visual novel to be exact. Everything except for us is pre-programmed manufacture of a series of codes that lets life as we know it go on. Essentially, everything we know, what we've supposedly lived through, has been a lie. Our memories are a lie. Our families, teachers, and friends don't exist. They're just imaginary. Even our school is fake. It's just a convenient little setup so that you get to meet us. When the reality is, it's just a fake little backdrop to hide this place from the player's eyes. The player, aka you, was supposed to form a romantic relationship with either Sayori, Natsuki, or Yuri. And I was supposed to sit back and let it happen. I could only advise you on what to do and give you tips on how to navigate this world. But I wasn't going to let it happen. So I did the only thing I could do. I intervened. I decided to push some things along, so that we could ultimately end up together. That's how the original story was supposed to happen. Original story? Yes, unfortunately I seem to be sort of lost in time. When I started to really manipulate the code to tie up a loose end early, I somehow messed up. And through my mistake, I somehow ended up creating a whole new timeline where that event never happened. The festival actually happened when I never intended for us to reach it. And all the events afterwards, well, mind you, it's all pre-programmed lies to fill the gaps in the story, were never supposed to happen either. It's a mod to the original story, to where our destinies were altered to lead elsewhere than was originally intended. So whatever the original game had in store for us isn't going to happen here. Though I've manipulated the code to mirror some certain events that you've experienced. I even invented some of my own too. The nightmares. Yes. I've been inside your empty head this entire time, trying to steer the player to pick better options. To pick me. It should have been our reality. That's where I wanted our destiny to be. Now I'm really taking a gamble by letting you help shape this reality with me. I've watched every single choice you've made, and it seems even with my own route now, you still steered clear of me. Yep. Why? I don't know if I can answer that. Monika sighs again. I know you can't, Mark, and I don't think the player has the ability to explain himself through you, but at least know how to I at least know how to fix all this. What do you mean? Monika, even if half of what you say is true, only you have the ability to make everything normal again. You're funny, Mark. I can't turn the cone back that far again. The game itself is on the verge of breaking. It was a huge gamble to send you all the way back to the beginning of this last time. When this alternate timeline was created, it for some reason had a start at the end. I just simply played along with the script until I saw you act out of character. That's when I knew something was wrong. I decided that a total game reset would fix the problem, and it did, at the cost of damaging our character files. I completely fixed mine, and I only fixed the others to allow for minimal functionality. Character files? It's how we exist. Without it, we're nothing. We literally wouldn't exist without them. But my fix was just really to buy time to formulate a new plan to win you over. I thought allowing you the freedom of choice would result in picking me, which you didn't. Yeah, well, and then you started to mess even more when I didn't pick you freely. And that is where I decided to go even further against you, Monika. I tried to steer you away from the others by giving you those nightmares, but it didn't work. Yeah, of course they didn't work. Because you were trying to influence my free choice. Monika, that's where it went wrong. I only further hurt my chances by looking like a total bitch yesterday. And for that, I'm sorry. But the others acted out because of the strain that's on their files now. They won't last much longer. So that's why I decided just to kill two birds with one stone by bringing us all here. Win the player over and finally get rid of the others. What? What does she mean by that? You'll see, I've been working on a surprise for you. You can read my mind? I can read everyone's thoughts, Mark. I can read the game's script. I know what everyone will say before they even think it. It's powerful and draining, which is why we're fixing that. If you'd be so kind to follow me. Monika extends her hand to me. Well, it's not like I have much of a choice in this. You don't. You bastard. Figures. I reluctantly take Monika's hand as she leads me into the dark. As we're walking in total darkness for what feels like hours, I try to mull over everything that Monika told me. There's no way that any of this is real. Any of this is real and could be happening right now. But it is. There's nothing else that can explain what's going on right now. No ordinary person could do a fraction of what Monika just pulled off earlier. So I guess she has to be telling the truth. But she's been doing all of this to win me over? Well, this person who controls me. Am I being controlled right now? Don't I have a say in this? She's always been my friend my entire life. And she means to tell me that was fake? That was all fake? It can't be. I still remember it. How can I remember something and it not be real? How can my feelings for her not be real? Sure, you can fake emotions, but not to that extent. Well, considering everything I know has been tossed out the window, I guess I have to go with Monika's explanation. Sure as hell I sure as hell can't explain what's going on. And I'm only afraid of what's to come. Is Sayori even alive? Where's Natsuki and Yuri? Where's the school? Where's life as I knew it? It's all gone. I'm cursed with the knowledge that my reality was nothing but a lie. You're taking it better than I did, that's for sure. Hi! Whoosh! How'd you find all this out? When I started the club. I don't know how else to make sense of it. It's just... I talked to the previous presidents who warned me not to restart the literature club. Apparently what happened to me happened to him too. When I officially became president, when I filed the paperwork and signed off everything, that's around the time I had my epiphany. I honestly still struggle with it. I'm sorry. Monika manages a small grin at me. Not one of malice or an ulterior motive, but the first genuine smile I've seen from her today. It's almost kind of relieving to see. I appreciate it, Mark. Don't mention it. So where are the others? Monika's smile disappears. You think they're ready, huh? You think you're ready, huh? Ready for what? You've been thinking over what I said. As improbable as everything sounds, it's real, Mark. I wish it wasn't. I don't belong here. I never did. You definitely seem like a fish out of the water, that's for sure. Monika lets out another hearty laugh. Well, you've definitely become quite the poet over our time together. Maybe I was wrong about you. But I know you do an excellent job in representing the player. Monika winks at me, but I'm not sure if I was the intended recipient of that. Excellent job in representing the player, yeah. Thanks. So what do we need to do? We need to set them free. That will at least buy us some time to figure out our next move to keep the game afloat. What does that mean? We need to delete them, Mark. They need to be totally removed from the game in order for us to survive here. We can't go back to the original game, and another reset will likely kill us all. Deleting the others will free up some of the burden on the code's essential functions. And it'll be easier for it to manage if it was just with minimal surroundings. You mean to kill them? They wouldn't feel a thing, Mark. You can make it quick and painless. The only thing I haven't done yet... The only reason I haven't done it yet is if I did it without your approval, the player would search for answers, and that risks ruining the code if they change anything by trying to add them back. So I want to make sure that whatever happens, you're okay with it. I'm trying to avoid a repeat of what would have happened had I maintained control in the original game. What happened then? And how do you know what happens? I had another epiphany. I got shown a reality where you turned against me and deleted me from the game for deleting the others without your approval. I stand shell-shocked at Monika's revelation. She's only telling me this now? She's holding out on me. I swear it's the truth, Mark. The player knows what would have happened. I'm not trying to go against their wishes again. Monika, you realize what you're asking me to do, right? You're asking me to sign Sayori's and Natsuki's and Yuri's death sentence. I can't do that. Then we're all dead. I don't want to act unilaterally something again. But if I have to take matters into my own hands again, so I can keep the only way of contacting my love, I will do it. Please don't make this any harder than it has to be. Well, you're the one making everything harder, because you could have just played along, but you couldn't. You couldn't resist, could you, Monika? You couldn't resist the fact that I chose someone else. Even if I had some second thoughts about deleting them, they may not be real, but they're the ones who kept me somewhat sane throughout this ordeal. They're real to me, Monika. And I'm sure as hell that whoever controls me feels the same way too. Sounds like a wager then. If you're so confident, Mark, show us how much they truly mean to you. Not the MC, not the avatar, just the actual player. With a snap of her fingers, Monika spawns in Sayori, Yuri, and Natsuki out of thin air. All of them let out a collective cry for help. I quickly noticed they're being levitated off the ground. Monika, what are you doing to them? Just stop worrying about them. Worry about us. Remember, they need to be set free, Mark. We're doing them a favor. The longer they are alive, the more strain the code puts on their files, meaning the more suffering they go through. Shut up, you psychotic bitch! Monika snaps her fingers again, causing Natsuki to suddenly jerk her head to the left. Ow! Silence, all of you! Monika snaps her fingers again, and Sayori's and Yuri's pleas for help become mute. Monika, this isn't right. You can't do this. Let them go. Now! Monika refocuses her icy stare on me. Letting them live would be a disservice, Mark. They aren't real. Are you really going to sacrifice our future just to see three imaginary schoolgirls? Just so three imaginary schoolgirls can continue to jeopardize our reality with their one-dimensional personalities? Think about it. If they live, we all die sooner or later. But if they die, we have a chance to live. We have a chance to live on and honor their sacrifice. And think of the other benefits too. A reality where it's just us. I know you've always been attracted to me, Mark. You want me. It's unfortunate that this is the way to win me over. This is the way to win me over for good. But in this cruel, cruel world we live in, everything comes with a price. I guarantee that you'll forget them in a week. I'll treat you better than they can. When I figure out how to cross over into your world, we'll be together forever and never be apart. But you have to make the tough decision to reap those benefits. I don't envy you. It's a tough call, but you have to do it. And if you don't delete them, here and now, they can eventually gain sentience. They'll learn how to code like I have, and destroy our world as we know it. Being separated from you would be unconscionable. I thought it said unconsolable, but that's not how you... Well, whatever, it probably means the same. I can't imagine a world where I can no longer talk with you. Please, I'm begging you. Please pick me. Do something for me. Do something for me for once. Let me be the one with the happy ending. You know what you're asking me to do. I look at each of the girls as a raging sense of guilt courses through my veins. I begin to shake as my anxiety kicks into overdrive. Can I really do it? Is Monika telling the truth here? Or is she manipulating me? Is she even telling me the full truth? And how many lies did she sprinkle in? It's now or never, Mark. No more saving. I'm gonna save. No more resets. No more time. Make your choice. A console's brought up before me. I've taken the liberty to crafting a code that should delete Sayori, Yuri and Natsuki all at once. It's already loaded in. All you have to do is press enter and I'll take care of the rest. If you don't, well, just don't make it come to that, please. Monika looks on in anticipation as I slowly walk up and to examine the console. I let out a shaky breath as I look at my options. I can enter in the code, I can try something else, or I can just walk away entirely from this. What do I do? What can I do? Explore other options. Has to be something else I could do. As I look at the console, I notice that I have the ability to type in. What if I could enter something else entirely? Would that even work? Well, it's either that, or Monika kills them. She may even kill me. Is something wrong, Mark? You know, you're asking a lot from me right now. Just give me a minute. Monika suspiciously stares as Sayori, Yuri and Natsuki remain frozen in place. Each of their eyes are locked onto me, however. I can feel the fear within them. I face back to the console. Maybe there's something that can take away Monika's powers, at least temporarily. But it's down to my best guess. We can shadow ban her. Shadow ban her from the game. If Monika says I'm some avatar for someone else, well, I'd really appreciate their help right now. What do we enter in? What would Monika make the code? Assuming it even exists. Monika's the type of person to plan for contingencies. She has a long time to prepare for this. Maybe the code could have something to do with the girls on the club. That's all Monika's ever known. Looks like I'm going to have to guess here. I erased Monika's pre-written command, so the console is now completely empty. Okay, what do we enter in here? Holy shit, I actually have to fucking put something. I can... Oh no, I can't do an underscore. I can just type shit. Not too many. Holy shit! I can actually fucking... Okay, I'm definitely... Can I save? There. I'll just go with my gut instinct or whatever for now, but I'm definitely gonna look up on Google shit because there's probably very cool things you can do with this. Input your commands. Can I ban Monika? Okay. Kick Monika. What do you think you're doing, Mark? Did you really expect that to work? Pathetic. Looks like I was too trusting of you. Now you forced my hand. Monika, wait, no! I don't know. There must be a way to, like a proper way how you can get that done. So the player has betrayed me. You should know by now that you can't take away my powers. They're a curse and a blessing, which I have to destroy, which I have to use to destroy this projection. You kill me, you lose your connection to this person controlling me, and any hope of you being free. Unfortunately, we're past any chance of that. The player refuses to see that Sayori, Natsuki and Yuri aren't anything more than just a bunch of lines of code on the screen. Yeah, well, I just don't want to fucking... Well, I don't want to give you the satisfaction, maybe a bit mean to say, but like, you know, like you were the one forcing my hand first. I deliberately decided not to go on Monika's route because you were influencing my choices. Trying to. They're not real people, and because of the player's inability to see this, they have condemned us all to die. If that's what the player wants, to kill us all, to destroy everything, then so be it. I guess the player never loves me. It hurts to know that I really was alone all this time. I'm not living like this anymore. I'm done living alone. I'm done living. I'm done. Monika? Fine, you win. You want everything destroyed? I can take care of that. Monika pulls out a knife from under her sleeve. But I'm killing this projection first. At least that way, you won't get to see me destroy this place. No, Monika, you wouldn't. I try to turn and run, but I'm unable to move. Everything in me feels like it's frozen solid, no matter how hard I try to move my arms or legs. They won't respond to me. I'll make this quick. I just want to get this over and done with. Goodbye, player. I hope this is what you wanted. How? How could this ever be what I wanted? As the world around me fades into darkness, Monika slowly... I couldn't read that. Okay, so that was the bad ending then, wasn't it? Okay. Yeah, but... Yeah, what you don't understand, Monika, is... I'm trying to fucking... Oh, I haven't seen that one before. Why isn't it grayed out? Sayori as Sayori, Natsuki as MC as Mark. Why aren't they grayed out? Aren't these supposed to be grayed out? Because I haven't seen them yet. Special thanks to Monika. Oh, there's the door. Boris Johnson playtested this? Hell yeah! How the hell did he not find some of the language things that I've already seen? Sounds a bit like a Portal song almost, this music. Hi, Monika. Jedi Knight Fallen Order for music. Okay. Oh, it's a community asset folder where those things come from. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, but I'm wondering now, are there actually multiple endings where I end up with, where I actually do end up with Sayori, or I do end up with Yuri or whatever, you know, or will Monika always take control eventually? Yeah, you know, or will Monika always take control, and then the only endings I can get are with those final three options of explore my options, enter the code, or walk away, you know? I'm wondering now, are there Because I feel like there's one ending for each of those options. You know, there's one ending where I enter the code, there's one ending where I walk away from it all, and there is, or there may be 4. There's also there's this ending where I try my options and fail, but I'm pretty sure there's also an ending where I try my options and it actually does work. But I'm wondering, so that's 4, but I'm wondering, is there also going to be other options where Monika doesn't get involved at all, where we don't see any of this Monika stuff, and then there's a, you know, a happy ending with Yuri, happy ending with Sayori, you know? I'm wondering. Or whether there are only like the 4 options that I just now kind of like. To the player, I wanted to take the time to thank you for playing this mod. I hope you enjoyed playing it. And I hope you had a phenomenal experience. This mod was designed to be as interactive and choice-driven as possible. I wanted to give the player the ability to influence the trajectory of the story in the most direct way possible through the choices they made in the game. It's not something I've seen done too much in other mods. So I wanted to try to go against the grain as much as possible with the making of this mod. In that regard, I believe I've succeeded. This mod was truly an experience to work on, and it's been quite the journey from start to finish. I didn't realize it at first, but this mod proved to be more complicated to make than I anticipated. There are going to be 4 main routes, 5 days, and almost every single day had a choice that would have far-reaching consequences that would influence the endings you could get to the game at the end of the story. Throw in the ability to switch between routes, and it quickly became apparent that I had several mountains of work to climb. Nevertheless, yeah, especially because if I accepted Yuri's confession, then I technically would have been on Yuri's route, you know? Nevertheless, I worked hard to overcome them, even though at times I was writing the same thing over and over again with minor differences for various scenes. I did enjoy writing this story. I love the story that I was telling, and I hope you're satisfied with the ending you've got. Well, if not, well, you can always relaunch the mod and start at the beginning. Or load up an old save. I deliberately made sure that you would be able to go back and enjoy the mod at any point in time without having to reinstall everything. That is very nice, thank you. There are many different ways to play this mods, and it's ultimately up to you how you want to play it. There's no limit to how many encores you can have. All things considered, it's been a ride. I started this project back in August of 2018. And close to 2 years later, I can proudly say it's done. I want to thank everyone who worked on and supported this project, from when it was just an idea to it being a fully fleshed out mod. Whether you playtested, wrote the music, drew the art, helped me write the story, assisted with coding, or just supported and encouraged me to keep going. This mod happened because of you, and I couldn't have pulled this off entirely on my own. I learned a lot about what goes into these mods. How to make them right, how to code, and all sorts of fun stuff. I learned a lot about how to plan and manage a project like this. And I've learned to be better through those experiences. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for playing and supporting Doki Doki Encore. Thank you for helping make this project into a reality for everyone to enjoy. Andrew J. Striedel? Are you German? Or Austrian? Director and creator of Doki Doki Encore. Okay, are we good? Can we go, or I can't do anything. I can't do anything, so what am I supposed to do here? Escape doesn't work, enter doesn't work. I thought you said I was able to fucking continue playing at any point. Well, why can't I continue to play? I can't even go to the main menu anymore. Okay, because I wanted to try some things, but I have to. I can't even do escape. I have to fucking alt tab and then fucking like close the game like that. But okay. So yeah, well, I wasn't really too satisfied with my ending because Monika decided to fucking destroy everything in the end. But yeah, I'm guessing... Yeah, I don't know, but I'm guessing it's like Monika intervenes eventually anyway. Unless, of course, you choose Monika right from the beginning. Because then I guess she just plays along all the time. But I didn't, because I went for Sayori this time. And then, you know, she had to do things the hard way. Because she was annoyed that I didn't choose her. But yeah, Monika, what you, like... seem to forget a little bit in your little rant about me. What did you say? That I couldn't realize that you were real and the other three were fake. What you seem to forget over there is how much you... first of all, how much you've been mean to me, to the player, with those horrible nightmares of yours, making me just want to continue to fight. To get the ending that I wanted, because I wanted to go Sayori's route, and then you come in and say, no, you should go Monika's route. No, that's my choice to make there, Monika, not yours. And you literally just said, like, oh yeah, I really shouldn't, I shouldn't interfere with the wishes of the player. Well, you did, because you tried to manipulate in the most horrible way possible. And, you know, that's... So you did try to manipulate the wishes of the player. So, and therefore my desire to go with Sayori became even larger. And also, what you also don't seem to understand, Monika, is that I do know that they are fake, but I pretend that they're not because it's just a story for me. I know it is an actual reality for you, but for me it's a story. I'm getting placed in a position that, you know, it's like reading an actual book, you know? You're coming along with the main character in a situation, or watching a movie, by the way, it also goes for that. Or, you know, role-playing something. You know, you try to place your mindset in a specific location described by the, you know, the visual novel, the book, the film, the whatever. And, you know, you're along for the ride, or you want to, in this case, because it's an interactive visual novel, you want to see how it would have turned out if you were in that situation, because you can make the choices. And yes, I know it's real, but that's why I'm doing it. It's entertainment in the end of the day, Monika. For you, it is real life because you're trapped in there, but for me, it's just a form of entertainment. So, me not understanding that they're fake, and not me not understanding that they're not real and stuff. Yeah, I know they're not real, but, you know, I'm placing myself in the mind of the character who is, you know, who has... I don't have a childhood friend named Sayori. I don't have an almost carbon copy of me with purple hair that I could totally fall in love with if she... they don't exist. I know that. But here they do. So here I can pretend that they are real. And that's why I play along, pretend that they're real. And, you know, make the choices based on that. Because this is a form of entertainment where I can entertain myself with the thoughts of what I would do if that situation happened in real life. Because it doesn't. And that's the point. But you don't seem to understand that, Monika. But yeah, anyway, I can't do anything. Escape, enter, spacebar. I don't know, unless the game has been coded to... Oh, and that's the wrong button. Okay, well, I think if you press F, you either like take a screenshot or something, and then you completely like tap out the game. But yeah, I can't do anything. Escape, spacebar, enter, nothing. So I just have to Alt F4 this thing, and then load up the saves there. But yeah, okay, so I'll be dicking around with the saves a little bit. And then I guess we'll go on Yuri's route next. Then, I guess. And we just have to figure out how many endings there truly are to this mod. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.